Hello YouTube, this is Van here with a YouTube video on double exposure effect in Photoshop. I have CS6 and this is a style of True Detective, and here we go. Name your photo double for double exposure, 1080 by 1920, and the resolution is going to be 72 because that's what most monitors are, and if we wanted to go back in and add motion, we can. That's really nice. Click OK and your new document will open. Go ahead and grab your female subject or male subject. I have this picture of a female here, and what we're going to do is cut her out of her background. You're going to go to Channels and find a channel that has the best contrast. That would probably be green in this case. Most of them don't really have a lot. You're going to go ahead and click green, drag it down to the new layer menu, and it's going to make a copy. From that copy, you're going to take levels, and then increase it to a nice dark. We are going to use black to make a selection, so just bring it up all the way. You don't want those edges to get fuzzy. Go ahead and bring the other side up just to make the blacks a little bit more smooth. And then once you're done, you're going to just click OK. With that selected, you're going to go ahead, pick a brush, and just paint that all black. You're just going to go in, paint black, fill it in, because this will be your selection. Is what's going to give the double exposure a really nice selection. Don't be afraid to Control Z if you make a mistake. Alright, we're just painting, and you can zoom out if you need to and just make your brush really big to make the process go a little faster. I'm going to make my brush a little smaller here and just go over it in some fine detail and speed up the video, and we will be right back with that. Okay, now what you're going to see here is I'm going to be trying to show you how to make the selection completely perfect. Now that we have her all painted out, what we didn't do is we didn't paint out the background white. So what we do is when we make our selection, it's going to have all that background, and that's not what we want. We need to paint out that background white, so that way when we make our selection, it only selects what's black. Now if you have like some grays in there and stuff like that, it will make it a faded out selection, and you can have some really neat effects, but for this we're just going to be cutting it all the way out. So we'll go ahead, select a white brush, kind of make it a little softer, so that way if you mess up the double exposure effect, you won't really be able to tell that much. So we're just going to go ahead and paint out the rest of this. Just like so. You don't really need to worry about the edges in this because that photo is going to really just help us out. And you can see I'm hitting Control Z to if I mess up. And the bigger the brush, the better the fade effect you'll get. I'm just kind of going in for some small little details. Alright, and with that, we now have our selection, and we can cut out the lady. So go ahead and click RGB to go to the back, Control Select, and then go to Invert, and then you're going to hit Control J to make a duplicate, or you can go and drag her down to the new layer button and it'll make a cutout. So now let's drag her over to our new composition. Alright, there we go. She's really big, so let's shrink her down. Now this effect, I mean, we're really just kind of setting her up for like a magazine layout or something like that. If we wanted to, we could add some like little motion effects. Maybe I'll do that in a later tutorial, but for right now, we're just going to put her over in this corner. If you wanted to, you could lay out some text, maybe your favorite lyrics to a song, some T Swift maybe. I don't like to name drop, so here we go. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and drag in the mountain. This forest, like I said before, you can go ahead and just drag this down into the new layer to create a new layer. See, if you have your background selected and try to do something different, it won't let you do it. You can also hit Control J. Control J will always make a new layer with whatever you have selected. So we're going to drop that down very big. Now we're going to lay out the competition kind of how the composition, we're going to lay it out just a little bit better. And we're just going to name this layer girl, and we're going to go and name our layer forest. That way we don't get confused. You always need to have good organization skills here. So select the girl by hitting Control and clicking, and then you're going to go click the forest and then click Add Layer Mask. Now we have perfect mask. You can see that it's pretty well cut out. Go ahead, bring her to the top, select layer style, and bring her down to multiply. Now we have, it's looking pretty okay. Now if you're not happy with the composition, you can click the link in the chain to break it up and kind of move around the clouds and the forest around to get kind of the effect that you want. I'm looking for a little tree in this composition, and what we can do now is we can go in, make another layer mask, get a nice brush. We're going to go really fuzzy, make that new layer mask. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use white to delete away some of the detail to get that, excuse me, we're going to use black and use some nice detail to get that away to make this look like a double exposure. Now with normal double exposure photography, you actually take a picture, don't wind the camera, and then take another picture on top, and that's how you get this effect. Photoshop, you know, you just need the program. So we're just going to keep going back and forth, just kind of finding, you know, a cool way for this to look. Just kind of play around, you know, there's no horrible way to do this. Just make sure you have a soft brush and kind of just pick and choose your areas. If you're still not happy with the way that this composition is looking, you can keep moving it around until you find just letting it line up. See, there's that little tree I was talking about. Now, if you want to, you can go to your background and your layer, click in there, and you can draw in some of the trees. So having white selected, you can come in and just kind of paint away the selection that you made with her and just kind of have that tree poking out through her silhouette. Okay, once you have that all done, I think that looks pretty nice. What we can do here is in the adjustments, you can add a lot of different things. We can change the color around, but I think we need to bump up the contrast, and what we can do is do the brightness and contrast and just kind of bump it up just to give a nice little sunlight coming through. Change the colors a little bit, and you know, I think that looks really nice right there. You know, if you need to do anything else, you can come in and kind of change the composition around. If you need to, you can come in with your brush again and just kind of delete and add some more stuff. You know, if you need to make stuff a little bit brighter, you can. But you know, this is looking pretty good right now. I'm just gonna let this run, and you know what? If you could like and subscribe my video, that would really help me out. Look forward to some more tutorials coming next week, and definitely some more speedy drawings and painting that I will be having soon. So like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and taking the time, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.